Hey roomies, it's Roma, and today we're going to talk about things that are in and things that are out. Trends. And if this is not one of the things that you like trends videos, just keep on scrolling, scroll on to something else. I don't normally talk about trend videos because I don't follow them, but I do think it's something that you should be aware of as a roomie so that you know how to design your house, the things that are in and the things that are out. I also want to let you know that if it's something that you like, keep it. Because there's some of these trends that made this list that I love and I plan on incorporating in my house somehow, or that I already have in my house, and I'm not going to just get rid of it because it's not trendy or trending anymore. And that's the other thing you have to remember, that some things are in and then the next moment they are out. And that's what happens with trends is someone introduces it, it goes on social media and everybody takes a hold of it and it gets spread like wildfire, and then all of a sudden, we're tired of seeing that, it's oversaturated, let's move on to the next thing. But again, if these are things that you love, then you should keep them, because I always feel like even though things are trendy or trending, it doesn't mean you get rid of it, it just means it's going to be less popular. You know, like you're at the dance, standing against the wall, waiting for somebody to ask you to dance. Less popular. Doesn't mean that nobody loves you, you're just not quite as popular. Number one, so the first trend that is going on its way out is a monotone color scheme. So that is any color. I think we got into that basic beige was everywhere, and oh, my room, I just want the neutrals. And there's nothing wrong with neutrals. I love neutrals. I have neutrals throughout my house. But I think when you get into the habit of, or the design habit of it's just got to be one color everywhere, your sofa is beige, the pillows are beige, the blankets are beige, the floor is beige, the rugs are beige, and everything's just that one color, it kind of leaves itself kind of flat. I think there was some star that will not be mentioned that did that, and everybody thought it was cool and trendy, and so they sort of copied it. And I think that's what happens with trends, is it's introduced and then people see it and they love it, especially if it's some celebrity or some big designer or something like that, and people sort of grab a hold on it and repeat it over and over and over and over, and then I think the internet gets saturated with it and gets kind of tired of it. And I've never been one for a monotone sort of color scheme anyway. The beige was popular, white was popular, the gray, monotone everything, you know, even the floors were gray and the cabinets were gray, and they might have thrown in a little white in there somewhere to sort of help balance it out, but the monotone color scheme really never appealed to me because there's no variety in that, and there's no excitement, there's nothing fun, there's nothing that's sort of different or makes you want to have a conversation about it other than, oh, this is boring and bland and beige. Let's find something else to do with that. So I'm kind of glad that one's on its way out. Number two is fluted finishes or reeded finishes. They're kind of both the same. I say reeded is more convex, where it's more round on top, and fluting is more concave, where it's more curved in. I actually kind of hate those are going out because those are something that I love. I think it was one of those things that got overused because it was also introduced as like the slatted wall, where it was either shiplap or the slatting that people used for accent walls, either behind a TV or to accent another wall in the house to give the wall some texture and make it fun. I think it got overused, and so everyone started using it thinking it was cool, and so now it's one of those things that's kind of going out. Me personally, in certain applications, I still love it. If it's a fluted or reeded glass, where it diffuses the light through doors and that sort of thing, where if you have an entryway or closet door or cabinetry in your kitchen that's lighted, and it shows the light through that little fluting, but it's a little sort of disguised where you could have it kind of messy and not have to worry about it being that clean because the fluting sort of hides that. I kind of love that. The other thing I like too is I like fluted, sort of like a statement piece in a room. So if you have everything else as one finish, but you have like a fluted console table, or you have a fluted kitchen island or something like that, where all of the cabinetry is one finish, but you feature the one fluted sort of area either in your kitchen or your bathroom, like the vanities might be fluted, or you have fluted marble in your around your bathtub surround or in your shower or something like that. To me, if you sort of vary everything and the fluting only happens in one spot where it feels like it's the star, I love that. But if it's just covered on every surface, or you're just doing it to add texture or fun to the space, I think it sort of loses its, I guess, the powerfulness you're trying to add to the space, or the feature of what you're trying to show. If it's everywhere, it doesn't have the same effect. It's sort of like, I equate it to when you are trying to decorate and everything sort of is loud and screams. I think it's the balance of trying to figure out what is going to be the star. And I think if there's something in the background and the fluted part is the star or the feature, then it makes more sense. And so that sort of element I'm still going to add in some part of my house somewhere, because I think that is a way to sort of add it. But when it's just overdone, it doesn't have the same effect. So the fluting and the reeded sort of things are going out. But again, if you love it, I love it for you, because I'm going to find some way to do it, because I think, to me, in some applications, it can be classic. 4 would be the frameless glass shower box, which I'm also a fan of because I have one in my house. I think that those really aren't going anywhere. What I think people are finding hard to deal with is the maintenance of it, because I am like that with mine. I think every time after you use it, you have to spray it down and squeegee it out and clean it. It's just the maintenance. It takes a lot. And so I also think if you're building a new house, if you can do that and install just where it's marble everywhere, or do just a panel of glass to separate the water from coming out, that would help. But I kind of like it. And so I wouldn't get rid of mine. And so this next trend that's going out are the endless row of lights. And what that means is multiple lights over your island, or multiple lights over a dining room, where you have the same fixture in multiple times over. For me, I kind of like that because in some ways, I think the multiples make the things look more luxurious. What I think happens sometimes is we don't think outside the box of that. And so in those areas where you can also have a multiple light source, you can also have a horizontal light source that may not have multiple lights in it, and that will do the same sort of application of that as the multiple lights do. Something I'm glad to see go, number 5, which is the squiggly and blobby furniture. Yeah, I'm done with that. So the squiggle candlesticks and the squiggle coffee tables and the squiggle around the picture frames and around the mirrors, I'm not sure where that came from or why that was. And there's nothing wrong with having different finishes of things, and we're going to continue to see that as things change or trends go in and out. But I think sometimes things come up just as I don't have any other word for it, but as a joke to see if they catch on. And I think this was one of the jokes that kind of caught on and everybody kind of got into it but me. And so I'm kind of glad to see that go. I'm not going to miss that one. And number 6, white bouclé. And just so you know, I love white bouclé, and I'm not getting rid of mine. And if you have it, I would say keep it if you love it. I think what we're going to start seeing is it phasing out Yes, but it will probably be in different applications. So what I would say is it's more out if you have a white bouclé sofa, which really wasn't something that was, I guess, practical because of the nature of bouclé and how it gets flattened as you sit on it so many times and that sort of thing. So if you still want to keep it, I would say keep it. I'm planning on keeping mine. I still have my white bouclé dining tables, but add it as an accent, either as in pillows or maybe an ottoman, or maybe just some other accent in a different area where it's not the featured part of your space. And I think that will take care of you being able to phase the trend out or still hold on to the thing you like, the trend that you like, and still feature it in your room. And the next trend that's on its way out is black hardware. And you know me, I love black. I love a little accent of black. But I think it's trending on its way out because there are going to be other surfaces and metals that are introduced in 2026, and stay tuned, we'll have a video for that. And it also sort of dates your space. I think the black handles and the black trim around the windows and that sort of thing sort of screams farmhouse. And I think people are trying to move away from farmhouse, and so that's why that's sort of leaving. Also, if you have the high contrast of black with white, that also screams the farmhouse with the white subway tile and the black grout and that sort of thing. So I think if you're trying to introduce that still, I think if you're still trying to introduce that into your room or your space somehow, I would do it sparingly, and I would try and do black accents in another way. I would do black accents and maybe some art pieces, or maybe some console table or something like that, where you have that pop of black in a different area and in a different way, and maybe not the door handles on your cabinetry or your faucets in your bathrooms. Because also too, just with the faucets in the bathroom, the water spots I think were something that were difficult to sort of maintain because the water gets on those, and if you don't wipe it right away, you get the hard water spots. And you know, it's a maintenance thing too. But there are so many other features and fixtures that you can use other than black. I think that's something that's just trending on its way out. But again, if you love it, I love it for you, and so you should keep it. And number 8, open floor plans. So I don't really think open floor plans are going anywhere. It seems like all of the newer houses that I have seen or visited, there is an element of that. It may not be as open as they were previously. And I think people are going back to where they like individual rooms or individual spaces. But for me, as you know, I love an open floor plan because I like the grandness of that. I also like the communal spaces that it adds, where you can have the entertainment area sort of flow one into the other. Also for me, personally, I like the use of windows in a house. And I also think the open floor plan allows you to have more light in more different spaces without having to have more lighting fixtures. Even, you know, I'm at my home now and it's, you know, almost 4 o'clock, and, you know, we're in winter, and so the sun is setting a little earlier, but it's so open and I have so many windows, I still have natural light coming in the house. And that's what I like about an open floor plan. I also think that, you know, if you work from home and you need those other spaces, then, you know, I think that's more where people are going to those closed rooms and that sort of thing. But for me, I just like that. Now, if you have an open floor plan, I'm not saying now you have to go around your house and put up walls, because that's not what this video is about. It's just things that are trending out, and doesn't mean they're out of style and you shouldn't be doing them. They're just not going to be as popular. You want to be popular. It's just not going to be. But if you like it, like I say, I would still keep it. And for me, that is one of the things I love about any house that we have or we move to, that is the feature that I will always look for. And the last trend that is on its way out, or so they say, is white and gray marble. And honestly, that's classic. That's not going anywhere. What I think is happening is it's not going to be as trendy, and there are going to be more statement marbles that come out. I want to say it was last year, a couple years ago, the Calcutta viola with the purple tones that everybody was, oh, you gotta have it, you gotta have it. That was the new marble, and so now it's also the Taj Mahal quartz site is very popular, and people love that. I think, again, it's someone sees the stone and people sort of love it, and then it gets posted on social media, and then it gets overdone. Then it becomes where everybody's sort of doing it, and then you get tired of it. So I do think that there are going to be more statement marbles or statement stone or quartz or whatever that come out that will be just as popular. The other thing I think has happened with the gray and white marble is there are quartz products that look like gray and white marble, and they have the heavier veining in them, and you can tell that it's not marble because of the overveining. I also think that there are porcelain products and some of these other types of products, and there are also the DIY girls that do the fake marble and that sort of thing, and I think that that's also killed some of that, because I'm going to be honest, when you do those fake marble DIY things, you're not fooling anybody. People know that that's fake, and I'm not saying there's anything against that, but there are so many other products that you can use that are less expensive that you can buy than doing some of those fake DIY sort of bad finishes and tops and that sort of things that just don't look very good. And I think that that's part of the thing that's caused the trend of, oh, well, we don't want to see that because it looks fake. And for the most part, some of that stuff is real. And I don't think gray and white marble is going anywhere. I mean, it's been here forever. I mean, you go to Italy and that's all that's there, and it's beautiful, and that's why you love it, because it is classic and it's been around for centuries, so it's not going anywhere. But I do think that there are other marbles that are going to become more trendy or trending, and you'll see those. And my thing is, find a statement marble that you like and use that, or a statement quartz that you like and use that, instead of following the trend of everybody else. I mean, there's so many other statement marbles and quartzes and stone, even granite. I mean, we can go back to using that. I mean, and I think people are put off by that because they think granite's cheap, and but there are so many different types of granite out there. I don't think that you've been introduced to the different variations of that. All you see is the builder basic granite that you would see at Home Depot. And well, you kind of have to get out and venture out and see other things and go to other stone suppliers and other stone yards that aren't Home Depot that you might have in your area, and find those other things that also make a nice statement, and that might be a little more you. So I think that as you do that, you get an idea of what else is out there, and you won't have to use the same gray and white marble or Taj Mahal or, you know, you get it. Well, there's today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I don't really follow trends, and I shouldn't say that. I do follow trends. I try not to focus so much on that as making it seem like you're missing out on something if you don't have the trend, or your space isn't as nice if you don't have the trend. Do you know what trends are really? Trends are created so that you feel like you're missing out on something, so you feel bad about not having something. And so the trend is, oh my gosh, you have to go get it to make yourself feel better about it. Don't do that. I think, again, design should be about what you like. If you want to incorporate some trends, I would say find a smaller way to incorporate the trend that you love and do it that way. I'm posting this video for people that do follow trends, and those are things I think that were in at one time, and the next moment they're out, which is hard about trends because they're cyclical. They're like that. They move in and out, and that's the thing about trends. And again, you just find the trend that you like, and I would say follow it in a way that's small so that you can use those trends and still incorporate them in your space where they're not taking over your space. So when the trend is gone, you're not having to feel like you need to knock down a wall or, rip everything down and start all over. Find a way that you introduce it so that it's your trend, your way that you're introducing it into your own space. And if you like it, I would take the time to go down and smash that like button and subscribe. I would love, love, love to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I know we're close, but we're also very close. So that would be awesome. Share this with your friends. And if you're having a design dilemma also in your home and you'd like to figure out a way to help yourself with that, then I would reach out to me on my website at roomsbyroma.com and set up a time for a consultation, and I can help you with that because, as always, I look forward to creating with you. Thanks so much.